Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making a few cute crafts. They're kind of random. I don't have the exact thing for them, but I'm going to start off with making this tin thing into a little cake box because why not? So pretty much you can use anything that's round. It doesn't even matter the shape actually, just use something that you have lying around to make it look cute. I started painting the first layer of red paint and I decided to make it pretty much almost exactly the same color because I didn't want to make it a whole new color, which would take a million layers because red is very pigmented. So I did pretty much 3 layers of this red paint to make sure everything is covered and you can't really see the old design. The old design is pretty, but I really want it to be a blank canvas. And to make the cream for the cake, I use a piping tip and some clay, air dry clay, and you keep squeezing it. And then I place it on top of the lid where I want the icing to be, and I'm pressing it down to make sure it stays. You can also hot glue it into place, and I'm using this red clay to make a cherry by rolling it. And I'm gonna put it in the middle, so I'm using some more small amount of whipped cream, cutting it off and placing it in the middle to make it like in the center a cherry. And now I want to put some cream on the bottom. I roll it out and I place it on, kind of flattening. It did not want to stick at first, so it did take a while. It kind of has to dry for it to actually stick on well. Then I took some metal from like a paper clip and painting it green for the stem of the cherry and just stick it in the cherry to make it pop out more. And then I covered the whole thing with Mod Podge to protect it, even the cream, because cream is also very shiny usually. So I just wanted to cover everything with the Mod Podge to protect it. And the cream in real life looks more matted, so the Mod Podge helps it stand out more. So I finished the cake box and the cherry on top. It turned out so cute. I didn't want to add too much stuff because I just didn't want to, but it opens and that's how it looks inside. I like that it's gold because it makes it look more expensive. So now I can just put stuff in here and it's all gonna be organized and really cute. I really like cake stuff. I don't know, something about it, but it turned out so cute. So I'm gonna make a jellyfish out of a water bottle next. I'm starting by cutting the water bottle, the top off, and for the jellyfish, like the head, I guess. And then we're cutting off the thing that to screw on the cap, just cutting that off too, and we're gonna use it. And then we're gonna cut up the bottom we're gonna use that too. And then you're gonna start by cutting down the middle and start cutting down the strips for the jellyfish's, like, I guess it's tentacles or something like that. But you just keep cutting strips all the way around. And then I take the top and you cut little strips on the bottom and using a lighter to make it more curled up, to make it look more like a jellyfish. And then you're going to use the strips you cut out with the lighter, and it's even better if you make it thinner. I'm using the bottom part to stick it inside, so then I have a place to attach those jellyfish stuff, and I'm adding this for like little extra place to attach the tentacles all the way around, like in from the inside to the outside, to make it look more full. And I just hot glue everything on because it's clear too. And then I'm adding some string, clear string too, so I can hang it. And then I'm adding some of this Sharpie highlighter. I recommend not using a highlighter Sharpie, but if you have a Sharpie and it makes it look more colorful and pretty. But this is how it turned out. Super cute. So I finished making the jellyfish. It turned out really cool. And you can make a ton of them, like out of the water bottle, and hang it up on like your ceiling. And it will look cool, or just around your room, like on the wall. It will look really cool if you have like aquarium little area. But they're really easy to make. You just pretty much need a lighter and scissors. And water bottles are everywhere. And you can also paint it to make it look cooler with Mod Podge. Mix it with some blue or whatever color you want and a little bit of Mod Podge all over it, and it'll make it clear at the same time colored. But I decided to go with highlighter, and you kind of blend it out. Gives it a pink tint, just a little bit. But next I want to make a lily out of paper, so to be decoration to put up anywhere. So next I'm making a paper lily, and it's pretty much almost a rounded diamond shape a little bit. And as you can see, I'm tracing it first, and then I'm going to use this marker to color it. I'm starting with the darker color for the outside, which is this red, and then I move on to the next color, which is like a little more pinkish, dark pink, so it can kind of ombre into every color. And then I'm using one more color, a very lighter pink, which doesn't show up too much on camera, like a super light pink, but in real life everything's much pinker. And then I did use some water to kind of wash it out and make it blend in, but you cut it out in all the petals. I'm using this pipe cleaner, and I'm folding it to like 3 ways, divided by 3, and then I cut up where it's folded, and I twist the bottom where I'm not gonna have, so the bottom will be the stem, and this top part is where the flower things are gonna be. I don't know what they're called, but I'm wrapping around yellow pipe cleaner to make it look like those where the pollen is. And I do it for all 3 of the pipe cleaners. And then I hot glue on all the petals, and I kind of fold them over the stem to make it more looking like a flower, because they are folded in the middle. And I do that for all the petals. And then I take some scissors and I kind of make it pull it, I guess, to make it roll back. And it turns out really pretty. The flower turned out so pretty. It looks a little more orangish on camera, but it's actually a little more pinkish reddish. It looks almost exactly like Ariel's flower, and that's in her hair. If I made it purple, it'd be exact match. So it's a pretty lily. Turned out really cute. I like to put it over like pins. You use the wire, wrap it around the pin, so it kind of blends it in. and doesn't make it look like noticeable because I have it on my painting. That's where I'm gonna put this one. So all my crafts turned out super cute. I love them, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and like and subscribe, and hopefully you make one of these crafts.